Hey guys, how's it going? It's Josh Lloyd here for a pre-game show for Monday. We've got too many games, 12 of them on today. We're going to talk about what we know. We might as well just flick straight in and have a look at lineups and injury news that we know straight away. Good to have you guys here. I will get to questions, and usually just so you're well aware, in terms of the questions, if it's a question that has more broad appeal versus do I add or drop this player in my points league, like that applies to you and nobody else. If it's like, who I trade these guys, like it's unlikely I'm going to answer a lot of those questions because there are going to be so many of them, and we just try and get to things that make more sense across multiple. I'm just looking at lineups here, multiple people. All right, so a bunch of news coming through here. Jalen Duren has just been added to the injury report as questionable with ankle soreness, so watch that one. Maxi Kleber just got ruled out. Alec Burks is out. Porzingis is in. Shea is in. Gafford is in. Jamal Murray is out. Let's just go. Well, let's have a look at the lineups of what we actually know so far. Who's confirmed in and out? Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole, Denny Avdia, Kyle Kuzma, Dan Gafford are starting for the Wizards. So Gafford, Avdia, and Kispert are all in. The Sixers are starting Maxi Melton, Oubre, Harris, Embiid. Nick Batum is going to play. The Mavericks, Doncic and Irving are playing. So we expect it's going to be Doncic, Irving, Jones, Williams, Lively. The Magic are without Carter, and they are without Fultz and without Harris. So it's going to be Black, Suggs, Wagner, Banchero, and Badadze. For the Spurs, Keldon Johnson is probable. Victor is going to play the back-to-back, so we assume Sohan, Branham, Johnson, Wembanyama, Collins. Don't think there's any confusion with the Pacers. For the Warriors, Draymond was questionable, but he's in, so we expect Curry, Thompson, Wiggins, Green, and Looney. Duren questionable, as I said. James Harden starting for the Clippers, so Westbrook, Harden, George, Leonard, and Zubats. Rowan Barrett is back for the Knicks, so he should push Josh Hart back to the bench. Taurean Prince returns for the Lakers, so I expect that he starts over Cam Reddish. The Heat, I think that Hayward Highsmith will start, and that will go with Lowry, Hero, Butler, Highsmith, Adebayo. No concerns with the Bucks. Ben Simmons returns for the Nets, so it should be Dinwiddie, Thomas, Bridges, Finney-Smith, and Simmons. I'm just going to adjust that because Ben Simmons is not the center on that team. The center is Finney-Smith. Ben Simmons continues to play at point guard. So I'm just going to make that adjustment there. They're just going really, really small, obviously. And I know we saw Simmons play a bit at center last season, but that has not been the case this season. What other information do we have, or what else are we waiting for? We'll get to that in a second. Let's just go through more of these lineups. Fox is out, so Mitchell should start for the Kings. Rockets should be unchanged. Porzingis is back for the Celtics, but there is no Derek White, so Al Horford should start. The Wolves should be unchanged. The Hawks, we don't know whether it's going to be Jalen Johnson or Sadiq Bey, but they run such a shallow rotation, it doesn't really matter. For the Thunder, Josh Giddey will come back. Not Josh Giddey, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander will come back in, sending Kaysine Wallace to the bench. The Jazz, I expect, will just go Horton, Tucker, Clarkson, Markin, and Collins Kessler. The Bulls should be White, Levine, DeRozan, Craig, and Vooch. The Pelicans, that's the big question. Jones, Ingram, Zion, Valanciunas, we know. Do they go Jordan Hawkins? Do they go Dyson Daniels? Or do they go Kyra Lewis? And then for the Nuggets, Jamal Murray is out, so I think it'll be Reggie Jackson, Caldwell Pope, Porter, Gordon, and Jokic is probable. I guess they could throw Colin Gillespie in there. I guess they could throw Christian Brown in there and just have Jokic run full-time point guard. Maybe. I don't know. So that's where we're at with that. Spurs lineup is confirmed. Sohan, Branham, Johnson, Wembanyama, Collins. Pacers lineup confirmed. Halliburton, Mathurin, Brown, Toppin, Turner. And what are we waiting for? Who else is out? Maxi Kleber is out. What else are we waiting on here? Who else? I'm just checking who else is confirmed out. Jaden Ivey is out. The Warriors signed Guy Santos today. Vanderbilt's out. Hachimura's out. Jovic is out. Caleb Martin is out. Cam Johnson's out. Claxton's out. Looks like Lonnie Walker will play. Not much else going on there. Alvarado out. Keldon Johnson's playing, so that's official. Well, I knew that. We already said the starting lineup. So, yeah. We don't have many statuses we're waiting on. It's Duren is the big one here, because the others are Jokic is probable, Lonnie Walker is probable, and then it's just Duren. And that's the big one, because if Duren's out, then we do look at Marvin Bagley. They want to probably make a decision on that soon. Well, here we go. Marvin Bagley is expected to start at center. Okay, so that's suggesting to me that Duren is not actually questionable. He is doubtful. So they are going to start Bagley, and Duren, if he plays, apparently will come off the bench. Yuck. Yeah. All right. There we are. Hello, everybody in the chat. Good to have you guys here. Why don't you thumb it up while you're here? The Claxton thing, I honestly have no idea, mate. I don't know. It's RKO Sayal. Good to see you back, my guy. Now, let me try and remember where you're from. I know you're from somewhere in the Caribbean. Are you from Guyana? See if I can remember that. Anyway, the Claxton, I don't know. It didn't make sense. It was like, oh, he needs to get confidence and come back. It's not something I expect to linger long term. Yeah, he's got an injury. Like, I don't know. I did bring it in from coming back like 10th of December to maybe like 20th of November. But honestly, we just don't know. Like, it's just such a confusing tweet. The other news we got today was Rob Williams having surgery on his knee. How long would he potentially be out for? I'm going to say until January. Knee surgery is no joke, especially with his knees. Don't be shocked if it cooks in for 3 months. I would say minimum 2 months on knee surgery. Minimum. So that's January. And you got to drop him. Like, there's no point holding on. As I already said yesterday, in a points league, you drop him regardless. In a category league, we see what happens, and then we drop him. Yeah, I don't know, Bruce. Just mentioned that. No idea. No idea about the what the hell that Jacques Vaughan quote means. Okay, so, from Toronto. Who's the guy? There's a guy that chimes in here and is from like Guyana. He talks cricket, West Indies cricket with me. Well, Buddy Hield be back in the starting lineup by the end of the year. I don't think Buddy Hield will be on this team at the end of the year. Well, Jalen Duran officially out now. There you go. So it is Bagley starting. Jesus Christ. Bagley and Stewart starting together. Yeah, so Jalen is out and Duran is out and Bagley is starting. So Bagley, an interesting pickup for today. Warriors lineup confirmed. Curry, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, and Looney. Mavericks lineup is confirmed. Doncic, Irving, Jones, Williams, and Lively. So what are we waiting for? That lineup's confirmed. That lineup's confirmed. That lineup's confirmed. That's confirmed. And now we're just going to throw Marvin Bagley into that starting lineup for the Pistons, which Kyle is working on that at the moment to get that fixed up. All right. That's where we're at. All right. What are we at here? Good to see everyone here again. Any update on Vassell? Nothing. I'm expecting he's out for the rest of this week. Is Tyree Eason close to back? It seems like he is close to back. Is he worth his stash? I don't think so. I don't know where he's getting enough minutes to make it worthwhile. Like, he probably will need 25. He'll be ramped up slowly. Like, where is he getting them from? Do you think they cut Dylan Brooks back? Do you think they cut Jabari Smith back? It's not like Reggie Bullock's even playing. So I don't think that we're going to, unfortunately, get enough minutes from Eason. I don't think that's going to happen. Joshua over in Suriname. All right, there you go. That wasn't you that was definitely not you that I was confusing with the West Indies guy talking about cricket. He was from Guyana, which is pretty close to Suriname. Have I watched the new season of Loki? I have. Well, obviously one more episode to go. Another person from Guyana. Wow. Ariz from Guyana. So many West Indians here today. That's good. When CJ comes back, do I think he'll produce as much as he was? No, I don't. What do I think of Darian Sebron today with CJ out and Gillespie with Murray out? Gillespie will be a backup guy for deeper leagues, so he'll play. I don't know that Sebron will necessarily play. I don't know that he'll play. Where is the buy low, sell high video? Andre, I literally discussed this in the show this morning and yesterday's show and Sunday's show. It's coming tomorrow. Wembanyama versus Obi Toppin's a fun matchup. If you like to see murders, yes, it is a very fun matchup. Snuff film style. Any news on Booker? No, all we know that he has already been ruled doubtful for Wednesday, which is not a great sign. With his third leg injury. Well, let me rephrase that because someone called me out on it before. Not an injury to his third leg. His third individual separate injury to a leg. There you go. Yeah, still no news on how long Rob's going to be out. Rob Williams. It's going to be a long time, though. Is Mo Wagner a stream in 16-team points? 100% he is. I'd stream him in 12s. What are my thoughts on the weekly games cap? Yeah, I think it's great. I think the weekly games cap that we're running in Locked On Fan... We ran one last year as a soft cap. We're running a hard cap in this year along with an industry pickup league. 40 games max. That's it. You can play 4 games like a Roto League, 4 games per positional slot. I think it's been awesome. You don't have schedule imbalances deciding lineups. You don't have a situation where it's just all about streaming. There is still streaming value in it. You still can add guys because no matter how deep your league goes, and this is part of the reason why I extended those leagues out to have a larger bench, because I knew that there's still going to be plenty of guys that you get off the wire that enable it to be used. So there's still streaming. You can still use that, but that hard cap makes it very, very interesting. I think I really liked it. Is Wembanyama playing today? Yes, Nate, he is. Unless something wild comes out of nowhere, he is playing today. So again, let's look through these games. We've got the Dallas confirmation. All the early lineups have been confirmed. Wow, the Pistons bench, the only 2 healthy non-two-way guys are Wiseman and Sasser. You're going to get 30 minutes out of Sasser again, and that means you're going to get guys like Rodin, Stanley Umude, who are going to have to play. Wow. Do I like sushi? Yes, I do. Interesting question. Am I betting on horses today? No, I'm not. Melbourne Cup. I haven't watched the Melbourne Cup in years. So I'm not betting on any horses. Do I like Amen as a stash? Asara is killing it. No, look, stashing is when you can see a very clear pathway for a player stepping into a larger role. And I just don't see it for Amen. I wish it was there, but I don't see that pathway. Matt, I answered this question early. Any chance you set up a placeholder for game reviews? I can't do it. The only way you can set up those landing pages is if it's a live stream, and the post-game recap show is not a live stream. So you can't set up a landing page like that. You just can't do it on YouTube. Is it a good matchup for Bagley? Who are they against? Golden State? Yeah, he'll get some good rebounds. Be interesting. Look, Wiseman's going to have to play against his former team as well. Stop screaming with all caps. Any interest in soccer? Not really, Andrew. I don't dislike it. I don't have enough mental bandwidth to take on another sport in that level of detail. Andrew's doing pretty well, though, isn't he? Andrew's doing pretty well. Have I ever checked out Alex Sarr in person? Not yet, Koo. Hopefully I can get to one of these games, but not yet. Andre, what team do I support? I do not have a team that I support, Andre. Is Trey Murphy worth a stash? Looks like Pelicans need shooting. Of course they do. I would guess start of December that he is back. But do you have injured reserve? Then of course. If you're holding him on the bench for 4 weeks with zeros, it's tough to do. Can Bismack Biyombo start as an Adams Wattenby? They're not remotely the same player. Biyombo is also Bismack Biyombo. There's a reason he was out of the league until he was signed by the Grizzlies. He might continue to start, but he's not going to do what Adams did. And it was still Tillman who was slated to start yesterday. N, good to see you're here for the first time ever. It is never pants. It's always shorts. I haven't seen today's game, Edvards. All I know is as a general rule, Ange Postecoglou has been doing well. I didn't see today's game. I have absolutely no idea. I don't follow soccer that closely. Bruce Brown or Lou Dort. Guys, I highlight this question to say I'm not going to answer it. I have no idea. What the hell context are you talking about? The answer is Brown, but give a context, please. If you're all caps, I'm not going to answer it either. Please just use regular words. Tell me something nice about Walker Kessler. He blocked some shots this week. I really don't understand what their plan is. But yeah, he blocked some shots. Trifecta, it's just not going to work, mate. This is not my decision about using sound drops. You can try and find loopholes. It's not going to work. This is a thing that comes through our corporate as well. So I just can't do it. I wish I could. I just can't. Is Goga a start? I think so, yeah. With hard games cap, is it tempting to get them in early, reduce risk of players being scratched? Absolutely, 100%. That is the way to go. Because you don't want to be scrambling on the last day and have 2 games to make up in one spot. You always want, and I do that in Roto. I'll always fall behind a bit early in Roto, push early, I'll push through the middle, and then have my games cap filled up with 5-6 days to go before the end of the season. Because you never want to be in that situation where you literally have no ability to get those games in. Best stream for rebounds today? That's a good question. Let me have a look and see how my projections look on that. I'd say Bagley would have to be up there considering the absence of anybody on that team. Let's have a look. Yeah, Bagley's the top guy who's going to be available everywhere. 4 rebounds, then you got Lively, Badadze, Al Horford. But yeah, Bagley's the guy there. Now he stinks, but he's got an opportunity. Tell me something nice about Miles Bridges. I can't do that. Not at all. What do I think of Max Christie? I think he might be a useful rotation player. I am surprised he didn't play above Cam Reddish early this season. I think he's going to work his way into a regular rotation role this season. Why would I hate you, Swaggy Lynn? Stream Mo Wagner over Goga and Bay for a points category. Good quality games. Yes, get the Orlando Magic have that good quality game at the end of the week. I think Atlanta does too. I think I prefer Bay for scoring over Wagner though. What gravitated me towards pro basketball despite never really playing? I like watching the sport. I like the intricacies of roster building. I like the intricacies of the way a season runs. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. It's fairly fast paced. I found like I had a talent in doing this. What's going to happen with Zubats now? I expect he plays fewer minutes. Do I think Mathurin would benefit more playing on the bench instead of being a starter? Yes, I do. Yes. Is Trey Jones underrated? I think he's actually properly rated or maybe overrated. With every single NBA, get Trey Jones starting. Every person on Twitter, get him starting. He's got to start. Trey Jones is really good. He's got to start. He's all right. Like, he's a high-level backup point guard and honestly, like if he was the starting point guard on this team, he'd probably, off the top of my head, he'd be the worst starting point guard in the NBA. Like, that's about the right rating, I would think. Sit Suggs, Lively, or Chris Paul? I'd probably sit Chris Paul on a back-to-back, but I don't know, man. That's tough. What are the thoughts on Clippers getting Josh Primo? Well, they've already had him for weeks. I don't know. It's a bit shitty, I think. He's not that good that you need to rush out to grab him after, he's flopping his cock out to team employees multiple times. Is it a good time to buy Josh Giddey low? No. Is he really this subpar? Like, I was down on Giddey this season compared to where others had him. He started off poor. He's improved the last couple of games, so that buy low window reduced with how he has improved his production. But I'm not. It depends what I'm getting him for. Like, yeah, if I get him for something that's not much, then sure, no problem. Am I sold on Sohan's ability to play make? Absolutely not. I'm not. He looked better in the last couple of games, but long term, I don't think he's a point guard. But we saw the Timberwolves do this years ago when Zach LaVine was very clearly not a point guard. They pushed him into a point guard role. It looked really bad. They were bad. But I think it benefited LaVine long term. And I think that might end up happening. Sohan is very, very clearly not their point guard of the future. But neither is Trey Jones. They still need to get that guy. And having just an extra developmental skill on Sohan, who is going to be a key part of their team moving forward, I think it's useful. What does quality game mean? All right, I'll explain this again. It's a day in the NBA where there are 9 or fewer games on, meaning on that day that if you add someone off the waiver wire, in all likelihood, you can start them. When there's 10, 11, 12, 13 games on, if you add someone off the wire, you probably don't start them. So it's a waste of a waiver move. As a general rule, I cannot give you individual specifics about your particular league, roster, all that sort of stuff. But that is what a quality game is. It's just a low volume day. I have no idea what that is, Johan. Should you stash Jose Alvarado in a points league? I wouldn't be that interested in it, honestly. Tell me something nice about Dyson Daniels. He's from Australia, number 1. Number 2, he's really tall. Number 3, he's an unbelievably good defender. That's easy. Does Goga have any upside? Yeah, he does. He's actually quite a good player. Whether they use him or Wagner more, I don't know, but Goga's a good player. It seems Şengün is performing to his ADP. as opposed with large variability. Do you think it continues, or do you see him improving to provide earlier round value? I do think he can get better from here, yes. How many subs does Basketball Monster have? I actually, honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really ask. So I don't know, because I don't look at all that back-end stuff. Duran is not playing. Is Zaire Williams a hold in a 14-team points league? Probably for now. What happens when Jar is back? Well, you probably drop him, because he'll move to the bench and he'll play much, much fewer minutes. When we do not know if we should make a trade, what should we do since you cannot answer all of them? Daniel, good question. Your default setting on trades should nearly always be just, no, I'm not going to do it. Because so many times we have this urge as fantasy managers, I've got to do a trade. I've got to do something. I've got to make a trade, right? And you just do it for the sake of doing it. And then the more variables you add into a trade, well, it's a 3-for-3 trade, it's going to screw you up. Your immediate reaction, this is how I approach trades, and we'll see how many people in the chat think this, but the longer you've been playing fantasy basketball, the longer your league mates have been playing fantasy basketball, the higher level your league mates are in terms of competitiveness or what they know or how involved they are in fantasy basketball, you don't see any trades. Like the trades, they just don't happen. I swear to God, in leagues that I was in last season, I reckon 2 trades got made across like 8 leagues, 9 leagues. In my leagues this season, I don't think any have been made. Maybe there's one in the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Bowl. I don't know. But there's none. So your initial response usually on a trade should just be no. No, I'm not going to do it. Did I talk about Dyson versus Jordan? Yeah, I've done it many times. Did I talk about it today? A little bit. I think Kyrie Lewis is also maybe in that mix. To me, it is really a coin flip. Do I think Jordan Hawkins will stick in the lineup? I don't know. Jordan Hawkins in the lineup means their ball handling is rough. It's Ingram and Zion who have to do it all because no one else there can really do it. So that is, what the hell is this quote from Nick Nurse? I've got to read this because I don't know what this is. Daniels' ball handling ability is going to be important, but he can't shoot. Hawkins' shooting is going to be important, but he can't really dribble. Kyrie Lewis can theoretically do a bit of both, but I don't trust him as a shooter. To me, honestly, I just don't know, and it's okay to not know. Got the news about Basketball Monster alerts about Jamal Murray. This is what I said earlier in the injury show, Nero. I said, look, with a hamstring injury, you usually should look at 2 to 3 weeks, and that's sort of what we're expecting here about Jamal Murray, which is normal. That's how hamstring injuries should be treated. Am I going to do video updates on the industry pickup league? I spoke about it at the end of yesterday's recap show. I do little bits. I don't know if I'll do like a full, we will once we get to the playoffs, but I'm not sure I'm going to do like full 20-minute, here's what's happening in the league. We have all the transactions posted at industrypickup.com. I did a recap yesterday of the week 2 results and the standings as well on yesterday's show. Do you think I can sell Westbrick for any top 100 guy? No. If you're in a league with me, you'd never be able to do that. But maybe you can. I'm not sure. I agree with this. If someone's offering you a trade, always be skeptical about it. Sometimes people will have ridiculous ideas of value and then you hit accept on them. But as a general rule, my thing is just going to be no. Like, just how I'm going to operate. And again, you will find, especially those of you new in fantasy, the longer you play, the more experienced you get, the less trades that go down. Anthony Black stream for Monday, Thursday, or Malik Beasley? I'd take Black, Shawnee. He's going to start today. He might start Thursday. You got 2 options there as well with Harris and Fultz out. So, yeah. Is RJ Barrett worth starting off injury in 9-cat? He's really not ever worth starting in a 9-category league anyway. The other option's KCP. I guess, do you want points or do you want steals? That's your debate there. Is Chris Paul worth using number 2 waiver in 10-team 9-cat? I don't care at all for waiver priority. I think it's a terrible system, and that's why I would put Fab in every single one of my leagues. In a 10-team league, Chris Paul is worth having on my roster, so sure, go into it. Do I think Randall will bounce back? Tiago, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Now, I hate watching Julius Randle play, but I'm also not going to sit here and tell you he's a 27% shooter because he's not. So he 100% is going to be better than this. A Kongwu Ugoga. Ooh, it's a tough one. That's tough. I probably do go Goga, actually. What are my thoughts on Siakam? He's from Cameroon, plays for Toronto. Daniel, do you ever consider who your player's opponent is before putting him into your lineup? For example, Gafford versus Embiid today. Gafford might get into foul trouble, so you sit Gafford. Again, it's one of these things, right? You can overthink so many different things. This might happen, right? It might not. And as a general rule, for doing this for years and years and years and looking at every single game over 11, 12 seasons as a job, the unpredictability of that means don't think about it too much. The amount of times that people would think, well, I can't play this guy in this matchup, and then he goes out and dominates. The classic example of that is Chris Boucher versus the Sixers. I think one of the first times he played the Sixers, he played like 2 minutes, got 3 fouls, and then he came out and dropped like 28 and 12 in the next one. All against Embiid. Just as a general rule, trust who you think your better players are. That's going to have more impact. I agree. Why do I call Max Strus the Winter Soldier? Have you ever seen the movie The Winter Soldier? Have you ever seen Bucky Barnes in the Marvel franchise? Have you ever seen what Sebastian Stan looks like? Maybe I'll bring it up for you. Let's have a look. I'll find a picture of it and then I'll bring it up and then I can tell you why I think. Let me just move this to another window as we get ready to get out of here. All right, see that? That's Sebastian Stan. Now let's have a look at Max Strus. See? They look the same. There you go. That's why. All right, we've got 2 minutes to go before we get out of here. Gafford's been stinking it up between his injuries and lack of playing time. It's been 3 games. Like, before we make any rash... He's also blocked 6 shots in 3 games, and he's shooting 85% from the field. So I don't know what more you expected out of Gafford. Yeah, you expect more than 3 shots per game, but when you expect more than 3 shots per game, it's going to come. Is he going to be frustrating? Yeah. Is he a good player? No. Is he their only center? Also, absolutely yes. So, yeah, we need to just stop overreacting so much. Why do I hate Nikola Jovic? Well, I don't know who that is. So, there you go. Do I ever get sick? Not really, Will. Not often. Not really. I don't have a secret for it. I just don't really get sick that much. Gafford is a category league guy. He is not a points league guy. Many of these centers, Walker Kessler, Robert Williams, Daniel Gafford, Mark Williams, they're not points league players. They're category league guys. And that is going to bring us to the end of the show. Yeah, it is, because we're done. All right, I'm going to get over and work over on Basketball Monster, monitor all the news, make all the updates. So thanks for being here. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. That would be sick if you could do it. Big recap, 12 games coming tonight. Look forward to seeing all you guys there. I'll see you guys later. Thumb it up on the way out.